Alright, so I'm gonna make it clear from now, if you guys are only interested in the grinding of this video and don't want to hear what I have to say, feel free to go ahead, skip through the video and just watch from whenever the timestamp is. However, I do want to use the first few minutes of this video to kind of explain myself, since I'm sure a lot of you guys have some questions. For example, why am I acting so weird around Anime Eternal, and why am I suggesting the Anime Eternal free-to-play series being cut short? Well, yeah, all of that is going to be answered. I'm not going to bother asking you to like or subscribe. I'll do that later on, okay? Let's get started on talking on, I guess, the main point. First of all, do I hate Joseph? Do I hate Anime Eternal or anyone that is like as a staff member or whatever on the Anime Eternal team? My answer is no, absolutely not. I have no hate towards the game, nor any staff members. I just feel like I was put in a situation that made me really uncomfortable, but I do admit that I did have some wrongdoing as well. Now, this all originates from when I made this video over here. I partnered with this new upcoming anime simulator, Anime Legend. Now, I'm gonna be honest, whether you choose to believe me or not, completely up to you, but I did not know how much of a copy to Anime Eternal this game was going to be. And of course, you guys as well pointed it out multiple times in the comments, you know, cheaper version of Anime Eternal. This is just Anime Eternal from Walmart. And yeah, the insults and whatever kind of go on and on, as you could probably see in the comments. And I'm gonna be real, I'm not gonna bother defending because, yes, although a lot of the aspects that are similar in both of these games, neither of them can claim that they own them. For example, pet systems, gachas. The whole baseline of what both of these games are made on, no one can claim, because obviously you could easily make the argument that games from years before originated those ideas. For example, Anime Punch, Anime Souls. Again, the list goes on. However, that doesn't mean that there are a lot of aspects that, I'm gonna be honest, no way I can defend them. For example, the gachas. The gachas as an idea, it's fair use, okay? Anyone can use it, or at least every single anime game has been using it for like the past few years. But, as you guys probably already noticed, and I believe I also mentioned this in the video, I might have not, but some certain details like the multipliers that the best two stuff give can be seen directly over here in Anime Eternal. For example, the best one, 15x, the second best one, 12x, and even the most common one, 2x. Those exact multipliers are seen here. Even the quest systems, again, the quest idea as a whole, anyone can use it, but the rewards are the main problem, you know, keys. I'm sure you guys kind of get the idea, right? Anime Legend uses a lot of gameplay mechanics and whatever that basically every single anime game uses. But when you look into the finer print and like the exact details of that game, you can see some similarities that you can't really just say, oh, it's a coincidence. Now, I just want to make some things clear, first of all. Did I know that this game was such a copy? No, not at all. All I knew is that the game had kind of the same mechanics, you know, rank ups, pets, gachas, and yes, I even was told that it was going to be inspired by Anime Eternal, but not to the level that I just described. In fact, I found out everything when I recorded this video, like the world keys, literally found out at the 2-minute and 2 mark of my video. But I might as well be honest, if I had known it was such a copy, would I have not accepted the deal? Well, that's where things kind of get a little bit shaky. And the main reason is that right now I really need a lot of Robux. Now hold up, before you guys start yelling at me that, oh, you just want to get rich yourself and whatever. No, that's not the reason. For the past 5 years that my channel has existed, I have kind of kept this similar trend, you know. When I hit a certain sub milestone, I give away 1 sub equals 1 Robux. For example, my most recent big giveaway was like 10k subs, aka 10k Robux. And I'm pretty sure I did one for 5k subs and 2k subs and probably a bunch more in the early days of my YouTube channel. And yeah, I don't exactly plan to stop doing that trend. For example, I do have enough Robux to do my 25k Robux giveaway at 25k subs. By the way, this is not some like promotion to get you guys to subscribe. Feel free to click off the video if you think that's that. I'm just trying to say is that I want to do massive giveaways. And again, I'm not trying to troll with the word massive. It is quite literally what it is. You know, I do want to give 25k Robux for 25k subs, 50k Robux for 50k subs, and you get the idea. So yeah, now that you guys understand why I kind of need Robux at the moment, even in a bit of a desperate sense, I just want to make it clear that I didn't even mention in that video, like, hey guys, I'm partnered with this game Anime Legends, you should totally check it out and like spend all of your life savings on it. No, in fact, I believe I didn't even mention the word spend Robux on this game once. I just said, hey, I'm gonna be part of this anime game. You know, if you guys have suggestions and whatnot for improving it and making it fun, then yeah, I would have a direct contact with the developers to pass on any ideas, suggestions, improvements. You get the idea. Plus as well, the whole point of the video was also to use those suggestions to make the game its own thing, you know. Since I joined the team so late, maybe I could at least try my best to make it like an anime simulator worth respecting and, you know, for people to remember down the line. Like, oh, one of my favorite anime games back in 2025 used to be Anime Legend, for example. You know, I want to have some kind of impact on the games that I actually decide to partner with. But yeah, how does that correlate to the main situation? Well, for obvious reasons, that video kind of ticked a lot of people off. To sum up what was said to me, I was mostly called like a traitor and probably disappointed a lot of staff at the Anime Eternal team. But as I've already mentioned numerous times, my goal of that video was not to like make fun of Anime Eternal or to shit talk it, or even to give people a replacement game. That was never my intentions at all. I love Anime Eternal. I want to see this game succeed. I just feel like I kind of got put into a situation that I had no control over. Now, yes, could I have done things differently? Probably. The only thing that I do have a little bit of a problem with, especially since I've talked to multiple people that have told me this, the whole traitor stuff and whatever, like that kind of like mindset wasn't exactly justified. Like for those of you guys that are like new to the channel, I don't have any contracts at all with Anime Eternal. Like I'm not paid, I'm not anything. The only thing that could have given me ties to this game would have been the admin items. But then again, it's not like I asked for them. It was kind of given like a friend request, you know, random friend request from Joseph, didn't expect that. And then he just DM'd me saying, hey, I have these admin items, do you want to make a video out of them? And for obvious reasons, I said, sure. Still though, does that mean that I don't owe Anime Eternal nothing at all? Well, no. If it wasn't for Anime Eternal, I would not have seen the growth over this past month that, you know, we have seen. For example, a lot of my Anime Eternal videos are constantly getting like 30k views, 40k views. And even just recently, one of them managed to hit my second top best performing video. That is insane. So yeah, the argument that I am trying to make is that yes, I do owe Anime Eternal a lot. But let's be real, okay? A lot of these games constantly either take ideas or heavily inspire from one another. For example, let's say the people that invented gachas, right? Let's say, for example, Star X, you know, the people that made Anime Punch and Anime Strike invented gachas. What if they implied or told me that they were uncomfortable with like me making videos on Anime Eternal? And as well, if they're not even like paying me or whatever, or like really contributing to the channel other than just providing a game that anyone can play. You see where I'm getting at, right? If I were to go down this like endless rabbit hole, I would just never end up playing any games because as I mentioned, a lot of them copy from each other. It's just become normal at this point, and as wrong as it is, there's nothing I can do about it. However, what I can do, and what I am going to try to do, is make sure that Anime Legend moves away from Anime Eternal, okay? I'm not gonna just say, oh, let's continue the cycle. No, what I do have the power to do, I will try to use that power to make things as right as possible. So that hopefully Anime Legend can go down one good path, Anime Eternal can go down another good path. All games can succeed. Again, I don't care who succeeds. Whether it is the game that I'm partnered with or a game that I really love to play, the best outcome that I would want to see is that obviously both of them succeed. So yeah, I just want to make it clear from now, Joseph or anyone on the staff team, if you are watching this, I do want to apologize, even though I didn't really have any impact at all on how Anime Legend turned out initially. I do apologize if maybe I implied to you guys in some sort of way that maybe I was going behind your back or maybe trying to harm Anime Eternal in some way. Whether you believe me or not, it was never my intention. Again, I love Anime Eternal. Hence why I'm deciding from this point onwards, unless things change, I am going to try and keep myself at an arm's length, okay? I am probably only going to continue on my free-to-play account. I'm not going to ask you guys for admin items, game passes, or whatever. If you guys choose to offer that to me by your own free will and without anything in return, then maybe I'll accept it. but I'm not going to tie myself to any games unless there's either some kind of written agreement, verbal agreement, just something that says, hey, SMG, we want to make you a part of our team. However, when you do become a part of the team, these are the requirements or things that you need to follow. But even if there are agreements, made verbally or on text or whatever, I might choose not to accept them and just keep to myself. Because as I said, games always copy from each other. I can't stop people from doing that. All I can hope is that Joseph continues doing good things. He has been coming up with a lot of unique stuff recently. And I hope he continues to do that. And as well, other developers, that whether it's going to be tomorrow or next month or next year, everyone comes up with as many unique stuff as possible, so then that way anime games can stop appearing like cash grabs and low effort copy and paste. Yeah, I'm gonna try and make sure that Anime Legend is not like that, okay? Unfortunately, I know this isn't the time for jokes, but unfortunately, in this economy, things do not come cheap. Alright, that's enough cringe from me. Let's go ahead and let's just jump into, this finale of Anime Eternal. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching this part, then it means that you've gotten past my little monologue kind of part of the video. But hey, it's time to stop all that and it's time to begin the grinding. So yeah, feel free to like and subscribe with notifications on, and also feel free to join my Discord server. It's gonna be linked in the description. Alright, so first things first, what have I done since the last video? Well, I have done exactly what I promised. I went back, I did a bunch of maxing out of all of the stuff that I hadn't maxed out. In fact, I believe I can showcase a few of those maxing outs on camera. For example, the stand evolves. If I'm not mistaken, I should have almost enough of the Supreme stands in order to go ahead and make myself the last stand. In fact, as you guys can see, we are so close to making that second 3-star World Supreme. Now, I believe I do have, yes, a bunch of the stand tokens, so we should be able to get enough. So let's see, after spending all of my stand tokens and a little bit extra, we have 4 of these, which if we just go ahead and quickly combine all of them, we might have, yes, I believe so, just enough to make that 3rd stand. Let's go! This is finally maxed out, meaning that we can move on to the next thing, which is going to be the Poketar leveling, because I should have, 15k tokens, which should be enough to get that level 50, which is going to be the maximum. So come on. Literally one more level, and yes, that is going to be another thing maxed out, leaving one more brand new thing, which actually came out in the recent update, and that is going to be the new special obelisk, because apparently the devs, they said that they weren't going to add new stuff to the old worlds, but I guess they changed their minds. Now over here, this one's going to be upgrading energy, so let's just go ahead, let's get working on it. And okay, we weren't able to max it out. In fact, we probably still have quite a lot left to do, but it's fine, okay? This will be something I'll grind on the side as we continue to do other stuff. For example, in World 19, because it is time to go ahead and complete this world so we can unlock the World 20 plus area, which is going to be including 3 worlds, a bunch of different raids and stuff, and probably a lot more. So yeah, let's see. What is the first thing that we should go ahead and get started on? Well, definitely we need to rank up a few times. So let's go ahead, let's pop on my energy team and let's claim all of these extra, I guess, achievements that I've gotten. So let's just claim that. Then do I have my stat points in the correct thing? No, I don't. So let's go ahead and let's quickly put everything into the right slot. Awesome. Now all that's left to do is to probably rank up. I believe that's all that's really left to do. So the first rank up is going to be 1 QTV, which is quite literally nothing. Now the next one is going to be costing 15 QTV, which we might as well go ahead and speed up. So let's just pop on a few of the energy potions and let's pop on some of the normal foods if I have any. Alrighty, here they are. Now, yes, chocolate bars are going to be the main ones that we're going to be using. And now I guess all that's really left to do is to just wait until rank 88. So once we go ahead and wait to get that amount, in fact, yeah, we did actually already get it. let's just quickly go ahead and let's spend some of my credits because I have been saving up. Once again, I have literally 2k. So let's see what is good old SMG going to be buying this time. Let's go ahead and let's buy remote access because although this isn't going to be like increasing my, I guess, energy amount or anything, it's a huge quality of life, I guess, improvement. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to be regretting it. Let's buy that. And then as well, let's buy VIP. So then that way I get that little bit, 15% extra energy. Nice. Guess all that leaves now is to go ahead and get a rank 88. Awesome. Now the next one, 50 QTV, which again, not really that much. There we go, that is another rank up claimed, and am I gonna continue at this very moment? No, I don't believe so. I mean, it's 2 QNV, which will probably take like 30 minutes. So yeah, let's leave the rank ups for this time being, and let's actually check out something that I forgot was actually added in the recent update, and I believe it's in the Tempest Capital. Yeah, this thing over here, there's a new kind of like dragon raid, and not only does it give, you know, the obelisk coins just like all of the other raids, but it also gives these like a storm dragon box upgrades, which, you know, upgrade damage, and we can even get 10 times extra. Yeah, it would be nice to go ahead and get this maxed out, but I have heard rumors that apparently it is really difficult. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the rumors are wrong. Let's find out. DVG HP. Okay, that isn't bad at all. Maybe it's because the HP goes up really fast. Again, I'm not entirely sure, especially since it's only like wave 20 out of, you know, 1,000, so we still have a long way to go. But even if we're not able to max it out, the achievements of this raid actually give a lot of buffs, you know, 25% per upgrade, which is just insane to say. Yeah, let's see how far I'm able to go. Hopefully I'm able to get to whatever the maximum is going to be. And of course, let's see if SMG luck is going to be coming in clutch and giving us some kind of good Storm Dragon upgrade. I really want to see that Supreme. Fingers crossed, I'll catch you guys soon. Okay, so unfortunately, this is as far as I can go. Wave around like 750. Sorry, no, 60. To be honest, it's fine though. I mean, we still are going to be getting a bunch of achievements just like so. And I believe we also got a relatively decent power. Yeah, we got the mythical, 6 times damage. It could be better, it could be worse, but for the time being, this will do. If needs be, I will grind it off camera, or maybe we'll grind it in like, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes or something. Once we are done, you know, doing a little bit more progression. Oh yeah, by the way, here is another obelisk upgrade. Done. Now we are 8 away from being maxed out on the energy, and I guess 20 away from the damage. Yeah, there's still quite a lot to do, but don't worry, we will get to it soon. But anyways, let's go ahead and let's get back on started on, yeah, this like first gen leveling and whatnot, because we still have a lot of work to do. Like, we're only on like, I believe the 2nd generation, or I can craft it right now, I think. Yeah, I can go ahead and craft it, so let's go ahead and let's just do that. Awesome. Now we just need to level it up, so then that way we can get the multipliers again. And as well, we need to get all of the tokens to continue ranking it up from legendary to mythical to phantom, and then obviously at the finale, the supreme. So let's see which enemies drop the tokens I need. Is it going to be these B ranks? I don't believe so. They dropped the fire company token and like the ignition token. Yeah, I need these like flare tokens. So clearly we are in the wrong spot. So maybe, yeah, these are going to be the guys that we need. These are, I believe they're C ranks. Yeah, the C ranks. Oh yeah, by the way, I completely forgot. We also have a bunch of new accessories that we can go ahead and farm. Yes. That reminds me, doesn't this world have like 16 different accessories that we can go ahead and get? Like, I know there's like 4 different ones, and each of them are like really good. So hopefully we get lucky on those as well. In fact, look at that. We already got the Fire Force pants, which is already giving us 0.46x energy, which is going to stack up nicely. But as well, not only that, we have the Fire Company tokens, which I believe, yeah, we can go ahead and use to get a bit more of an energy boost. Here we go, 4.5x from just like 80 rolls, and obviously the more we AFK here, the more tokens we're gonna get, and then the more tokens we get, then we can just go ahead, spend them, get 10x or even 15x energy, which will then allow us to get a bunch more rank ups. So let's go ahead, let's begin, I guess, kind of mini speedrunning, you know, something like that. In case you guys already forgot, we still have 4 worlds to go through in this video, so I'm gonna show as much as possible in the least amount of time. That way you guys, I guess, don't get bored and we can actually max out in this video. So yeah, let the grinding begin. Alright, so first few things have been acquired. We now have the legendary the special Fire Force, and as well we managed to get the Supreme Fire Force pants, giving us a 1x energy boost, which I believe is like 2 times. Yeah, I don't know the exact amount, but all you need to know is that we now have more energy gain. Then from there, we have the 2nd generation now maxed out, meaning that we can go ahead and upgrade it to the 3rd generation, the mythical, giving us all of these stats. So let's craft that bad boy, and now we are going to be needing to grind out these, I'm not sure what kind of tokens they're called. Maybe these are the ignition tokens that I was talking about before. Not entirely sure. But yeah, it's fine. It's still going to be like the same kind of grinding. And probably whilst we're actually grinding this, maybe we can go ahead and continue rolling the Special Fire Force, because we actually have 1.55k tokens. Nope, I didn't get any form of upgrade, but it's fine because now we can go ahead and do a few more rank ups. So we're going to be going from rank 90 all the way up to rank 94. Now, whilst we were going ahead and, grinding all of this energy, I also managed to make some more milestones. For example, we managed to go ahead and get ourselves the Supreme Storm Dragon, giving us 10 times damage. Then from there, I also managed to get this Supreme Accessory, the Fire Witch Hat, giving us the following stats. And now, just to make our life a little bit easier, we have even more new content to check out, because Updates 19 did go ahead and release, and although we can't check out the new world and stuff, we can go ahead and get these license quests. Like literally, they are ridiculously broken. Although the first ones aren't anything crazy, like, 5 credits and 1x damage and 1x energy, the multipliers do actually go up by a significant amount. For example, the best one that you can get at this very moment is going to be the B class inside of the Chainsaw World, World 18. And it's going to be giving you the following boosts: 25 credits, 1 drops potion, and 5x energy and 5x damage. Yeah, we have no reason not to complete all of these quests right now, so then that way we can get all of those nice boosts. So whilst we go ahead and work on that, let's go ahead and let's get ourselves another Pyrokinetics evolved. Seems like this time we're going to be getting the Phantom one, giving us 1x damage, 4x energy, and yeah, this is going to be really, really powerful to have. So let's craft that bad boy, and now the next thing that we're going to need is a lot of the hybrid tokens. Unfortunately, I barely have any of them. Let's just go ahead and quickly solve the problem. So let's just craft 40,000 tokens, and let's see if this is even going to be close to enough. Honestly, probably not. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the game decides to give me OP luck, the success rate stays really, really high, and I'm able to max this out. In fact, I believe we need like 80 levels, right? Yeah, it's around 80 levels, and it seems like we are nowhere near the target level. Oh, we're 20 levels away. Let's just exchange another 20k tokens. Again, this is a huge pain every single time that I do this, but I know that in the end it is going to be worth it. As long as we're able to get the Adola thing, we will be good. So that is hybrid now max leveled, meaning that we now have the Adola user, which I believe I did manage to save up a bunch of those tokens overnight. Yes, 31k. Okay, so I may or may not have had to sacrifice like another 20-30,000 tokens, but it's fine. We now have the level 100 Adola user, which means that if we head on over here, actually no, that's the wrong place. Here it is. We can now go ahead and try and get Eternal Cinders, which will give us 50% extra energy and 70% extra damage. So let's go ahead, let's put on the index and let the auto roll begin. There we go. That is now acquired, meaning that I believe the last world is relatively done, except for like the Special Fire Force. We still have some work to do here, and as well the final few accessories, the obelisk, and of course the quest line to unlock World 20. let's, I guess, quickly wrap up all of these, like, you know, E class, D class, B class, all of those quest class, so we can go ahead and get the best class license. Alright, so just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are now back with the final B class quest done, but as well, we also have the quest of World 19 done, and even the rank SSS quest done. Yes, that's right, we managed to get strong enough to somehow be able to take out the supreme pet, or should I say enemy, without even reaching World 20, or at least we're just about to. So let's go ahead, let's activate that obelisk, and let's buy this bad boy. Now, since this is the very first world in, I guess, World 20 plus, we do need to remember that all of these different tokens now uses a brand new exchange currency. As you guys can see, I now have 0 of them, meaning that I am kind of starting back from square one. But don't worry, I should be relatively strong enough, yes, to start making at least relatively small progress. In fact, once we go ahead and grind out these Grand Elder power tokens, right? Let's go ahead and let's jump on over to some other stuff I was able to get. For example, I was able to get the Supreme Avatar, meaning that if I go ahead and equip this, right, and then max it out inside of the avatar leveling page, we should be able to have a really nice multiplier to stack up with my energy gain. Plus as well, I'm sure you guys noticed I have been able to prestige for probably the majority of this video. So let's go ahead and let's finally, I guess, get that sorted as well. So this is what our avatar is looking like. And oh yeah, this is what my team is looking like. I may or may not have done quite a lot of hatching off camera, but you know, it's fine. But yeah, as I was saying though, let's quickly teleport on over to the Earthing City. And I believe the prestige place is right over here. Yeah, it seems like the rewards are relatively the same, you know, a small increase in the XP, more stat points, higher level cap, and obviously the prestige box, which most importantly gives us 100 credits. So let's go ahead and grab on that, right? And now, if I head back on over to World 20, am I able to like slowly start to like immediately level up? Yeah, we're getting actually hundreds of millions of EXP, which I might as well go ahead and probably pop on all of my stat points into like damage. Let's do it in damage for the time being, right? Because the more damage we have, the more tokens we're going to get, which means that we'll be able to roll this and as well exchange for all of the other tokens that I might not be strong enough to get at this very moment. And actually, since we already have a little bit of the tokens, you know, 149 of them, we might as well go ahead and roll. Maybe, who knows, I get super lucky. The 20% only. Okay, I wasn't that lucky, but it's fine because this still gives like a 4.5x energy boost, and I believe everything else in this world, including the new stuff that I never ever saw before, like, you know, the dragon energy and damage, that was definitely not there when I first came to the green planet. As I was saying though, all of this stuff should give me a ton of energy and obviously damage as well. And oh yeah, the dragon leveling evolutions and the Saiyan evolution leveling. I remember these, they turn like the phantom stuff that we could literally get in the very first world into like supreme level stuff, you know, 12x multiplier to like 15x. Yeah, although we just started in like this new batch of worlds, we still actually have quite a lot and a lot to do. Well, there's no point slacking right now, so let's just start maxing out the stuff that I can go ahead and max out. So that is going to be the damage obelisk from a world, I believe it was like 15. Yeah, from World 15, that is now maxed out. Then from there, all of this stuff is maxed, like quite literally. I have the best Adelar. I believe I have the best Adelar blessing on it as well. Yes, I do. Sorry, but it may or may not have been a few days since I last recorded that part, so my memory is a little bit funky right now. But yeah, as I was saying though, everything should be like 99% done with like maybe a few progressions and some new stuff in like the dungeon lobby that still needs to be maxed out, at least I believe so. But yeah, at this point in the video, I'm not gonna bother looking back that much. I think I've done enough preparing for like this section of like the brand new worlds. So probably I'm going to spend more and more time focusing on the new stuff, you know, like for example, the final 2 worlds. I have absolutely zero clue what is even in these worlds. I mean, obviously I can guess from, you know, the names and stuff, but apart from that though, I have absolutely zero clue. There's even a dungeon lobby apparently. I guess we'll have to figure out what on earth this has to offer as well. Okay, here's one of our first steps in the brand new section of this video. We have the mythical true potential, giving us 10 times energy. And the reason that is awesome is because, as you guys can see with my energy setup on, keep in mind, my stat points are still not in energy just yet. It doesn't even matter because our total energy is still skyrocketing, and probably we can go ahead and rank up a bunch of times. And oh yeah, by the way, this is what the dungeon lobby looks like. We have like 4 different raids, some dungeon over here. However, I am going to assume that I'm probably way too weak to grind those. So yeah, let's get back to focusing on the things that I can do. So over here at the rank ups, we can go ahead and get rank 95, and then the next one's only going to be 500 SEV. Now, once again, that is absolutely nothing, especially since we can just go ahead and do that. Then 740 points into energy, and of course as well, we can go ahead and pop on a potion. And now look at the bar going up. I don't think you've ever seen something as clean as that. Boom, there we go. And now the next one is going to be 25 SPG, which should take us around like 2 minutes. Quite literally, it barely took more than a few minutes to get rank 97. Now, I think I'm going to stop it when it comes to the rank ups just for a little bit, and now focus on maybe just grinding up, you know, a ton of energy for World 20. Especially since I do have a feeling that if we want to do the majority of progression in that world, we need to start grinding Green Planet raids. And actually, that reminds me, doesn't the Green Planet raid have that like supreme, like kind of like a Poketa pet, but like dragon themed? Yeah, I remember how fun that was to level up. So yeah, we have a lot of Green Planet raids to do, but I guess it's fine. In the meantime, we can focus on other stuff like these achievements. Literally, we're only 5 achievements off from getting 100 total dungeon mediums, then 9 away from easy dungeons, then probably hard dungeons further away. Yeah, it is at 26, but it's fine, you get the idea, right? We are starting to get major progression on these achievements, and the best part about them is that they give so many credits. Like this one alone will give me 1,000. That's enough to get like 2 or 3 game passes. Oh yeah, look at that. Apparently I saved up more credits from the codes and stuff. So let's, I guess, just go ahead and spend it on small storage and big storage, right? Because although the backpack size is relatively meh, these game passes actually give a very small energy multipliers, like 5% and 10%. And since we're grinding energy, those are going to be coming in handy. But yeah, now that the shop is done once again for the time being, let's focus on... what should we do? Let's, I guess, start off by probably, as I just mentioned, getting strong enough to jump into the Green Planet raid, which is going to be in the Dungeon 2 lobby. And then from there, probably we can just speedrun the rest of these gachas because they shouldn't be too difficult to farm. Yeah, even the brand new ones over here, they only have a max level of 50, so it shouldn't be anything crazy. So let's go ahead, let's continue speedrunning this world in the form of, I guess, what we've been doing the majority of this video, cutting to whenever I finally have something interesting happen. Even with all of these upgrades, I have a feeling that this might take, at the bare minimum, a few more hours. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, no matter how long this takes, it will be worth it in the end. Cue the grinding. Okay, here's something interesting to showcase to you guys, and it's actually the first ever time that I'm going to be showcasing something like this. As you guys can see, we have a brand new avatar, and that is because the game did go ahead and update. Again, feel free to pause the video, have a look at the update log. But the main part of this update is actually Gleam Raid avatar and Munder Raid avatars. Apparently, these are the very first damage avatars in the game. Now, unfortunately, you can't level them up, but still, 5x damage for like what took me like 2 seconds. Yeah, this is really, really awesome to have, and probably I might be able to like start one-shotting, yeah, the B rank enemies of this world. And what about the S ranks? Can I actually take out the S ranks? Oh wow, no way, I can actually one-shot them with barely any difficulty. And what about the SS? Okay, I'm not one-shotting him by any means at all, but still, I might actually be able to get enough of the kills in order to complete the quest of this world. So yeah, progression is being made. Okay, well, when I told you guys progression was being made, I was able to do that. I managed to save up a bunch of energy, as you guys can see, to the point where I'm able to somewhat, you know, one-shot Koku SSJ. Yeah, I take him out very, very quickly, and obviously after a whole night of AFK, I was able to get a bunch of these Koku SSJ Supremes. But hold on just a moment, whilst I was AFKing, I was of course getting a bunch of tokens. For example, over here at the dragon damage, I can go ahead and max out. When it comes to the dragon energy, that is already maxed out. The eternal dragon leveling, I can actually go ahead and max it out as well. Then from there, Super Saiyan 3 level thingy, that is also done. And then of course the same can be said for the Dragon Race leveling, you know, level 25. Unfortunately though, we were not able to max out the Frost Demon evolutions. Hold on, let me just quickly equip it. So I was able to get at least the Phantom, which I guess it's fine. I mean, it's only like a, 2x decrease. And then even over here, the Grand Elder power, it is very similar, you know, 15x I could have gotten, but I guess 12x will be fine for now. However, I am noticing that things are taking too long for me to first max out this world completely, because as you guys can see, a whole new world was added, and if I keep on taking my sweet time, then we're never going to be able to finish this. So let's go ahead, let's get started by first claiming this achievement over here, right? Because now, with these extra 350 credits, I can go ahead and buy myself, I believe it is over here in the dungeon upgrades, down here, the extra aura equip. Now that is going to be really, really handy because it does mean that when it comes to, for example, grinding drops, I can now equip both of my drops auras. Then when it comes to damage, I can of course equip the damage auras. And you kind of get the idea. We can grind very, very efficiently. Now we aren't done just yet because there is a few more achievements that I can go ahead and get, right? For example, Leaf Raid. I'm pretty sure I can get Wave 2000. Same thing for Wave 1000 for the Titan defense, and you kind of get the idea. So let's go ahead and quickly finish all of those. So let's start off, I guess, over here at the Titan City, and let's do the Titan defense. And I'll catch you guys up once we are done, I guess, grinding all of the raids and game modes and whatever. And then we can go ahead and claim like a bunch of credits, tickets, whatever you want to call them. So then maybe in this video, we can get an extra game pass or two. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's gonna depend on how much SMG is able to accomplish. Here we go. So that should be the final raid, I guess, done for the time being. And oh yeah, by the way, let's just go ahead and quickly prestige once again. That's actually going to be giving us an extra 100 credits, which is going to be really, really nice. But yeah, heading on over here to the achievements, not only are we going to be getting credits, but as well we're going to be getting, you know, 25% energy, 20% damage. You kind of get the idea. Even on the ones where we didn't like max them out or anything, we're still getting something that's going to be, you know, relatively useful. For example, credits in this one, and then over here in the Sin Raid, okay, that is credits as well, but the Dragon Room Raid doesn't actually have any credits, but I did go ahead and max this out as well. And now to end it all off, we are going to be getting the Leaf Raid one done, and yeah, that is basically every achievement done that I can max out at this moment. Apart from obviously the running track, I haven't actually started any of these just yet. But I don't think I really need to at the moment because I don't really need the extra sprint speed. So yeah, let's go ahead. Let's just see how many credits we have. So 1.23k. Ooh, that's actually quite a good number. Yeah, let's actually go ahead and head on over to the shadow upgrades over here. And let's buy the extra shadow equip. And then can I buy the extra shadow souls? No, we can't, but I'm sure, yeah, we're really close. Plus as well, I don't think there's really anything else here that's really worth it. I mean, I kind of solved the opening stars problem because I got like a bunch of stars achievements. Don't really need extra coins at the moment. Don't really need these, like they're too expensive for how much of a boost that they give. And double souls, I don't really need that at the moment. So with all of that done for the time being, I think it's done that this time, instead of unlocking a new world, right, and then just seeing if we can like max it out, let's just go ahead and instead just see how many worlds we can unlock at this very moment. So if we go ahead and quickly claim all of these quests, you know, that will give us all of the world keys that we're going to be needing. So let's just claim all of these. And oh yeah, we also have some extra quests from this like secrets quest thingy over here. Yeah, not entirely sure what it's meant to be, but hey, it gives free rewards, so I don't really care that much. So let's claim that. Now this one I can't unlock at this very moment, so I'm just gonna leave it there. And yeah, let's unlock the Hollow World and let's teleport on through. So in this world, we need to try and go ahead and get ourselves, I guess, to complete all of the quests immediately. So let's just accept the following quests. Now, probably, yeah, we are going to have to complete the Phantom one, which might not be possible. But hey, then again, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm able to one-shot him, who knows? All I can promise though is that I am definitely going to try. So let's start off. Let me make sure my damage setup is on. We can relatively destroy the B ranks. That is awesome. What about the S ranks over here? Are we able to do that much? No, we are not. But you know what? That's fine. The fact we're already being able to destroy like the B ranks and maybe even the A ranks, all that means is that we only need to do a little bit of extra grinding for us to be strong enough. For example, we have the Espada over here, which, you know, once we go ahead and start rolling, we are going to be getting some awesome energy boosts, all the way up to 15x. Now, of course, things don't end just there. We obviously have a bunch more stuff. We have new sights. We also have the Bunkai, which I believe is going to be improving the sights. I'm not entirely sure if it's meant to be like a, what do you call it again? Like a whole damage increase. I don't believe that's how it works. I mean, I can't even showcase it to you guys at this very moment because we do require more exchange 2 coins. So unfortunately, it does seem like I'm not going to be able to like instantly unlock like 2 or 3 worlds at this very moment. So what exactly does that mean, right? Does that mean I'm just going to cut out and get back to more like AFK grinding and stuff? No, we're going to be trying out some stuffs over here that we might be able to progress in. For example, Dungeon of Suffering and as well this Mundo Raid. Let's start off over here at the Mundo Raid and let's see if we're able to progress far in it. So, okay, we're able to get through 1 wave, maybe even 2 waves if I just pop on my damage potion. Yeah, we're going to be able to at least do that much. However, when it comes to the 3rd wave, yeah, we're not going to be able to touch this guy at all. Oh, well, not to worry. What about the Hollow Raid over here? Are we able to do something here, or is it going to be like super difficult? Okay, we're actually doing decent damage. Wait, how much HP do these guys have? Only SSTG. Oh, we have NOTG. That means that we should be able to get maybe to around like wave 100 in this, maybe 200 if we're lucky. Plus as well, do keep in mind that I still need to allocate all of my skill points, which actually, if I go ahead and quickly do that, that might actually push us up that little bit extra. So then that's where we can go ahead and claim maybe a few extra achievements. For example, if we can at least get to wave 100 for the 100 credits, I'll take that. But of course, if we're able to get further, that would also be really nice. And speaking of the Mundo Raid, yeah, we actually are going to be getting an extra 1.5x damage for basically doing nothing. Ooh, as well, apparently, if we get to wave 20 in the Mundo Raid, it will also give us 10 times damage, you know, a new damage avatar. That will actually be really awesome to have. But anyways, let's go ahead and wrap up this Hollow Raid. So we managed to get to wave 300, which is awesome. Now, what exactly does that mean in terms of achievements? It means that we have now 100 extra credits, 30% more damage, and 35% more energy. Let's go. Now, all that's left to do is to, I guess, try out this Dungeon of Suffering. And actually, whilst we were over here, can we just have a look at all of the, I guess, rewards? Like, are any of these even, like, useful to me? Okay, this is useful for, like, Worlds 1 and 2. And since I'm still missing, like, the Supremes, even the World 20 is going to be really helpful. Even the Hollow Raid, it's mostly Worlds 2 in terms of Worlds 21 stuff, which once again, going to be really nice to have. And then over here, nothing really is given here apart from, I guess, the achievements, so no point doing this for quite a while from now. And then for those of you guys interested, the Green Planet Raid, I've technically maxed this out. I mean, the only thing that this could give me is this stuff, the Frost Demon tokens, Grand Elder tokens, but probably Dungeon of Suffering and Hollow Raid would be a better alternative. Enough yapping though, let's jump into this Suffering dungeon and hopefully we are going to be getting really far. So first thing that I noticed, by the way, is that my DPS has skyrocketed all the way into the QDDR range, which maybe we might even be able to go ahead and level that up even more. Let's see, can I unlock this? I cannot. I can unlock this Ryatsu leveling, however I don't think I have enough tokens to really make much of a difference. Same thing for the Zanpakuto leveling. Again, I only have 644 tokens, so am I going to be able to do anything? Probably not, but it's fine. In the background, that will begin to build up. Most importantly, though, I want to roll the espadas because that's what's going to be giving us the energy. In fact, there we go. 7.5x for easy light work. Now, unfortunately, though, I am not going to be able to beat the Suffering Dungeon at this very moment. The best I can do is room 20 because that's I guess the next achievement that I can unlock. Yeah, getting room 20 is going to be giving me 20% extra damage, which I will take that for the time being. And then I will obviously showcase, come back here and get to room 50, which is going to be the max one. But I do have a feeling that probably room 50 is going to be like 1,000 to 10 times 1,000 stronger than I am at this very moment. So probably in order to reach, I guess, that level, we are going to be needing at least maybe World 22, potentially World 23, but I'm not gonna kind of exaggerate that much. I guess we'll find out, I guess, in the next cut, which is probably going to be me maxing out stuff and then obviously unlocking the Shadow Academy. And hopefully from there, I would have AFK'd overnight, saved up a bunch of the World 2 tokens. So then, that way we won't have any problems with buying the gachas. And then from there, we only actually have 3 days from this very moment before the Halloween event releases. Now, what does that mean exactly? I did kind of make a promise that I was going to try my best to, go pro before the Halloween event starts. So that basically means time is ticking, and it is ticking fast. We need to somehow get all of this grinding done in not even like a week. Whatever, let's start out the maxing out montage, and I guess I will probably see you guys properly when we are maxed out on World 21, maybe World 20 as well, and we can move on to the Shadow Academy. So let's go ahead and let's start off by, I guess, getting a good shadow enhancements on these Koku SSJs, because I have a feeling I'm probably going to be having them for quite a long time. So let's go ahead, let's keep rolling until we get something, semi-decent. For example, maybe, should I go for like Phantom or Mythical? Yeah, let's go for Mythical and above, because since eventually we are going to be replacing them, there's no point like trying to go for like the best of the best. So yeah, in fact, there we go. Apparently, it just gave it to me. Not entirely sure. I don't know how this works, but I'm sure, okay. What about this one? Are we going to get something better? No, we're going to be getting a Mythical as well. But as I mentioned, that is completely fine. Now, let's go ahead and let's level up these shadows. So they are going to be found over here. So let's just max level them up. If I remember correctly, the max level is around level 100, and it does get quite expensive. Okay, it's not that expensive, thank God. If it was like 100k per like level up, then I would have gotten broke really fast. But thankfully, it's only like 50k. Not exactly super cheap, but then again, not exactly super expensive. Oh, we can go ahead and level up the energy ones as well. Oh, I kind of forgot that. So how much is level 100 going to be? Is it going to be like 4 times better, 5 times better? It should be around that much. So 33% became 99%. Okay, so it's exactly a 3 times boost. Pretty solid, I guess. So let's just go ahead and max level this one. And now my energy team seems to be all set up along with my damage team. This one though, not maxed out, but again, it's fine. I don't think that extra like 20% attack speed is going to be making any crazy differences in my DPS. So for the time being, that's his shadows all sorted. Let's move on. So over here, I ended up AFKing overnight on these, what do you call them? I guess like the weakest enemies on the Hollow World. And yeah, from that, I was able to get the Supreme Espada, giving me 15 times energy and as well 27,000 tokens, which I guess we can go ahead and immediately exchange for, what do you call these again? The exchange coin 2. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna really have any other use for it, so probably I'm just gonna spend this on like keys and stuff, especially since I kind of need them at the moment, especially like a Green Planet raid and a Key of Suffering. These kind of stuff ain't exactly cheap, and I kind of need them in order to max out all of the other stuff, but it's fine. Also, by the way, we actually have a bunch of tokens on the sites, meaning that we might be able to start making some progression here, maybe get a few of these Phantom ones, and maybe even 1 or 2 of these Supremes. Let's actually go ahead and do a short time lapse of me just, I guess, opening all of these. I'm gonna leave the chat open for anyone that I guess wants to see what exactly I get. And yeah, let's, I guess, 50k tokens be gone in who knows how long. Alright, it seems like we are now out of the sword tokens, so let's I guess have a look and let's see if we got anything good. So we got 2 Supremes, which means we can make 1 Supreme 1 star. Then from there we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Phantom ones, which if I get like 3 more, I might be able to go ahead and exchange them. Yeah, in exchange for like 10 of these Phantom Requiems and 10k exchange coins, I can make 1 Supreme. So I don't think I'm going to be combining these because it would probably be a waste. But even the 2 Supremes right now, I'm not going to combine them either because the maximum I'll get is I think 10 times damage at the moment, which no point doing that because I won't be getting like any returns. You know, I'll be using the exchange coins for nothing since I already have these golden venom strikes, which are already really good. So I'll only start combining them when I have a bunch of the Supremes. Now, up next on things that we have gone ahead and done, we have managed, if I'm not mistaken, to do a bunch of hatching. Yes, as you guys can see, we have a bunch of phantom pets now. And as well, not only that, we also did a bunch of the Green Planet trades, so then that's why I can get this, the Supreme Black Form giving me 12 times damage, and as well, the Supreme Potential Unbound giving me another 15x power. Yeah, I can't lie, these 2 Supremes took a really long time for no reason, but it's fine, they're all now done, meaning that we can move on to probably something that we've probably done like 17 times in this video, rank ups. Also, one more thing just before we go ahead and do some energy grinding, we have a few more achievements. 1 extra star opened, and as well 250 credits for basically nothing. But yeah, let's get started on the energy grinding by popping on my energy setup. Hopefully I should have everything that I'm going to need in order to do this really efficiently. So let's, yes, pop all of our points into that. And now, as you can see, my energy is going up really nicely, but we're not done just yet. Actually, we can still go ahead and pop on an energy potion and as well an energy macaron, because you know we do have a bunch of them saved up. And now I believe I do have everything at this very moment to increase my energy, except actually one more thing, because it just came to mind. Whilst we're getting the rank ups, you guys remember the index? You know, the one where you get like a certain amount of like pets and stuff. For example, a Z City, you know, you get all 9 of these, sorry, 8. And then for every certain amount, you get a little bit extra energy. Well, yeah, we can actually go ahead and, you know, do that. We can probably get at least 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, maybe around like 4 upgrades. So let's just go ahead and rank up to rank 101, and then whilst we're getting this, let's just quickly pop onto one of these worlds. So let's just, I guess, go ahead and do maybe all of these rarities, except obviously I'm not going to go for the Supremes just yet because I have a feeling, since I don't have my luck set up on, this would be taking too long to get like a singular Supreme. So yeah, I'm not going to bother wasting my time too much on that because we'll probably be here for another like 2 hours. So this should be the final mythical acquired for the time being. Now, just as I mentioned, we'll get the Phantoms and Supremes another time. But for the time being, let's just hide that, and then let's get 1, 2, 3, and yeah, now we have like 0.15x extra energy, which obviously is going to be adding up really nicely for the rank ups. In fact, here's another rank up acquired. Let's now go ahead and get ourselves 30 NVG. So here we go, this is a rank 103 now acquired. Now, should I go for 250 NVG? Yeah, I think I can do this. We can definitely get one more rank up before we start like saving up energy. And then I think from there, we might be able to complete this world completely, or you know, at least I hope so. So then that way we can immediately unlock World 22, which is going to be the Shadow Academy. Come on, we should have now enough to rank up. Yes, we do. Now, just before we rank up, I did realize I did kind of shoot it by a lot. So instead, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and see if maybe with my damage setup on, this is going to be like enough to like, you know, start one-shotting everything in this world. So S ranks are getting absolutely obliterated. Okay, what about the S rank, which is going to be right up there? Oh wait, sorry, I meant to say the SS rank, you know, the Phantom enemy. Hopefully we're able to defeat him relatively easily. Okay, we can't take him out, so that's definitely a good start. And as well, another good thing about this is that we only need 5 kills, you know, not like, for example, 75 or 50 like some of the other quests that we've seen. Guess that means that when it comes to completing the quests of Hollow World 2, just like I said, we are going to get that all sorted very, very quickly. Enough yapping and chit-chatting and whatever though. I said I was going to unlock the Shadow Academy, so let's just do that. So we can claim, I believe, every single quest except one last one, which is going to be this one. I literally just need to get 4 more C rank kills. In fact, here they are. Let's just run over them once. That is quest 3 now done, meaning that, yeah, we can head on over to the Shadow Academy and start getting OP once again. Now this is very interesting, right? We just unlocked this world and yet we can't even really damage the E ranks that much, let alone I guess the SS and SSS ranks. Once again, it seems like my dream of being able to unlock like 3 worlds in the matter of like 2 minutes is once again down the drain. But I have an idea, right? I have saved up a bunch of the exchange coin tokens, meaning that can I go ahead and do, you know, my little 1k method that I basically do in every single video? Like, for example, if we just grab, you know, 1,000 of that, then 1,000 of this, and this. You get the idea. I just want to go ahead and unlock some of these gadgets and, you know, immediately unlock their boosts. For example, the Shadow Garden over here is going to be upgrading energy, and hopefully, yes, we can get something awesome like the Phantom, in other words, the first Shadow. And in this case, it's going to be giving me 8 times energy. Okay, that is interesting. Normally, the Phantoms are like 12x, and now it's 8x, and even the best one, instead of 15x, it is 10x. Wait, does that mean that maybe the other stuff is where we can like upgrade? For example, this? No, that is damage. And then these are progressions. And then what exactly is this? Oh, okay, I get it now. No wonder why they seem to be so weak. You can actually go ahead and level them up like the Pokita and the Adola. Phew, I thought the game was going to be making life really difficult, but thankfully I was completely wrong. But anyways, let's see. Can we go ahead and maybe get the Phantom or the Supreme here as well? I mean, I know my luck has been like really OP in the past few videos, so it is definitely possible. So that is the mythical acquired. Any last special rolls? Legendary? No, okay, we're sticking with the mythical for now. That's a bummer because it's not even worth leveling up at the moment. Should I level up this, the Phantom? Probably not. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and save my leveling tokens for the time being. Maybe instead I will just spend stuff on like, you know, upgrading the Eminence coins and maybe like exchange them for getting like better Shadow Gardens and Shadow Arts. Because I feel like if I were to level up a Phantom or a Mythical, I'm just, you know, wasting time. But yeah, how exactly does one person go ahead and get ourselves Eminence coins? Okay, I believe any single enemy in this world, yeah, they do go ahead and drop them. However, something that I do want to point out is that in this world, there is a new accessory, the neck fur. Ooh, okay, wait. We have another accessory over here. We have this one, which is going to be increasing damage, coins, and EXP. And then I believe there's also a brand new aura, which is like the first new one in like so long. And it's even a damage one as well. Alright, it seems like this world is really heavy on damage upgrades, which hopefully means that we should be able to start one-shotting these guys very soon. But the big question is, how exactly do I get started here? Here's actually a good idea. Since we got that 8x energy boost, right, from the Shadow Garden, let's go ahead and continue to do, you know, the energy grinding. So then that way we can maybe go ahead and pop on maybe like another rank up or 2. And then from there, I believe the moment that we're able to like start relatively one-shotting these E ranks, we will then be able to get not only more Shadow Garden tokens, which means that we'll have a chance at getting the Supreme, but as well, we'll also get Eminence coins for the progressions, which will be upgrading not only energy, but as well damage and I guess luck and coins, but we don't really care about those at the moment. So yeah, that sounds like a relatively good plan, so let me get started on that once again. Probably this time it's gonna be a few hours, I can't lie. I wouldn't be surprised if this takes bare minimum 6 more hours. But maybe I'm wrong, maybe I get super lucky, or maybe one of the game modes can actually give me like the Eminence coins. No, Dungeon Suffering doesn't do anything. I don't believe, yeah, this doesn't give anything. I could technically try the Mundo raid again. Maybe I'm able to get like another achievement or 2. Let's see. So wave 1, 2, 3, 4, if I just pop on all of my damage stuff really quick, we might be able to get to wave 7. Okay, we might be able to, but it's going to be super, super close. Is there anything else I can pop on at all where I could actually get the achievements to give me more damage? Yes, getting the achievements literally allowed me to get another achievement. Now, wave number 8, not happening. I'm sorry, impossible. But it's fine because now we went from having, I believe it was one of these two, I think it was this one, 1.5x damage. We went up all the way to 10x damage in the matter of like, how long was that? 30 seconds? And now imagine if we paired that 10x damage boost with maybe, you know, a bunch of energy grinding. Yeah, 1 hour of energy grinding and I'll easily be able to one-shot these E ranks without any difficulty. Not sure if you guys can tell, but I'm really, really happy because remember how before I said I want to try, you know, beating the game before the Halloween update comes out? Well, yeah, it is actually sounding possible. In fact, I remember something. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but in one of the recent updates, there was a little addition to the first dungeon lobby that's actually going to be really handy. Yeah, you guys remember this? The running track raid, you know, at first it does sound like it is completely useless, like only sprint speed, really? That's not really that helpful. Well, actually, in case you guys didn't already know, there's actually a mini progression over here, which apparently I did it once and I forgot about it. But yeah, each upgrade gives me like a 0.5x energy boost, and I believe I have like 8 keys right now. Yeah, I have 7 of them, meaning that I can get up to 4x energy. Oh, that's gonna be cool. Yeah, I need to stop like baiting you guys and stuff. You guys want to see the grinding? Let's get started on that by running, I guess, a bunch of running track raids. Then we'll do a bunch of energy, damage. You kind of get the idea. So, yeah, let the grinding begin for probably like the 17th time this video. Yeah, I know it's happening a lot, but then again, it's a mini movie on Anime Eternal. What were you expecting? Sightseeing? A mission to Mars? Yeah, I think you'd be on the wrong video. Alright, jokes aside, let's get back to grinding. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, with the first thing that we're going to be doing on this little grinding session. So we have 7.5k of the running track coins, meaning that if I were to go ahead and put on the auto, just like I predicted before, we are now getting 4 times energy. Also, whilst we were going ahead and doing the track raids, I also had my energy set up on since, you know, I didn't really need any damage. And now I have 4.9 TGN energy, which is an insane number. Yeah, probably we would easily be able to do like 2 or 3 more rank ups, but I'm gonna hold it up for just a second because I know how much you guys love when I do like 3 rank ups in like 5 seconds. Let's just in the meantime go ahead and focus on doing these eminence coins and E ranks so then, you know, we get some of the tokens. Let's actually see how much of a boost is going to be giving us. So 27 eminence coins is going to be giving me 0.01x boost. Okay, I can't lie, I was really expecting anything else. But hey, the game could have surprised me, but it's fine. I guess if we were to AFK on this overnight, we should be able to easily get like level 100 or something. Assuming the price of the eminence coins and the chance doesn't get too low, I can't really see why we will have an issue there. Now, the other things that we can do in the meantime is probably upgrading our energy avatar, so then, you know, that way we get more energy. But as well, not only that, maybe we should go ahead and save up enough levels. I believe the next prestige, you know, prestige number 6 is going to be level 250, which we should be able to reach in around, let's say, an hour, right? Actually, that reminds me of something. If we were to reset our stats and put everything into damage, we should hopefully, yeah, be able to farm the E ranks even faster and maybe even move up to like some other units, like maybe the D ranks. Yep, we can move up all the way to the D ranks, and what is awesome is that, just like I showcased before, they do give us a new accessory which is going to be helping us out. In this case, we're going to be getting an energy scarf accessory, which is, I believe, going to be doing 2 times more energy at Supreme. Yeah, I'm not sure how exactly the 1x multiplier works. I believe it is 2x. Whatever, I'm not too bothered on figuring out the mathematics in this game. Let's just go ahead, let's get the Supreme accessory, and let's maybe as well get some more Supreme related stuff in the Shadow Garden and as well the Shadow Arts. Hey everyone, quick progression updates just before I, AFK overnight. Now, do keep in mind, this is the final night before the Halloween update does go ahead and releases. So everything is kind of stacking on what I do before I go to bed. So let's get started on that by claiming some achievements. If I'm not mistaken, I have this one. Yes, giving me 1,000 credits. Now that is absolutely insane, and as well we have a few more to claim. We have 35% more damage, and as well 200 more credits, and the Supreme Hollow Power, giving us 12 times damage, and of course it is the best hollow power that you can get in the game. Now one more thing that I do want to go ahead and do on camera is going to be prestiging, since once again we can go ahead and do that. So let's just jump on over here. We're going to be getting, as usual, the same old stats and even 100 credits. Not sure if you guys forgot, we do literally get 3 credits per prestige. So let's just buy that. And awesome. I think we are ready to maybe get back to energy grinding. Yeah, I'm not sure if I do want to do energy grinding. I mean, I could technically do that. Yeah, probably it would be the smartest to go ahead and do rank ups now, but I'm gonna be sacrificing a good content moment. Whatever, we've already done multiple rank up montages and stuff. Let's just get everything sorted, right? So let's pop on my energy team. And then, is my energy going up relatively nicely? No, we're missing out on some stuff. There we go. That is the leveling part of, I guess, the grinding almost caught up for the time being. I mean, we're still missing out on quite a lot of levels, but for this part of the video, it should do just fine. So now we are getting an 11x energy boost, which is obviously, once we go ahead and pop on my energy setup again, is going to be putting us up to 8.87 NVG energy per click. Now, in order to push up that number even further, we could try 2 strategies. Number 1, hatching, but I'm not entirely happy in doing that at this very moment. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure the pets are really OP, but would it be worth it popping on my luck setup and then, missing out on, I guess, energy grinding? I don't think so. I don't think it would be smart to do that right now. What to do? Okay, let's try this. Let's try the risky route, right? Let's go ahead and do the hatching. I know this might be the stupidest thing that I'm going to be doing in this video, but I want to see if it will work out. So if I just quickly auto-delete all of these, yeah, we can get rid of that as well. And then when it comes to the stats over here, we'll just pop on everything into luck. And then I guess for the time being, we can just pop the rest of the points into coins. And now, if I just go ahead and immediately start hatching, because I believe I do have a good amount of coins in order to hatch this infinitely. I doubt 70 non-Hillion is going to be running out very, very fast, but I don't want to, sound like, oh, we're definitely not going to run out, and then I end up embarrassing myself, Let's just start the hatching. Let's find out if I am going to get cooked. Actually, let's pop on a food as well. Yeah, let's try a luck macaroon. Let's see if all of that is going to be adding up, which is going to be adding up to this over here, 72.7 star luck. I believe that is one of the highest amounts that you can get in the game, apart from obviously the game passes. Ooh, actually, should I buy this one? No, you know what? I'm gonna save it. I want to buy Ultra Lucky over here because this is a game pass that I've been wanting to get for since update 2 or something. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, I know right now it's for you. You might be saying, just get the 50%, it's gonna be helping you this moment. I want to believe that in the long run, getting the super lucky for, the best lucky one, getting that first is actually going to be more worth it. But yeah, let's get to hatching, and hopefully this doesn't take too long, and we are able to get some phantoms and obviously the supremes. Not sure if we're gonna get anything before I head to bed, so most likely I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning on the final day. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to see if all of the AFK grinding was worth it. So let's see. If I head on over to the Eminent Energy, I should have enough of the Eminence coins to hopefully max this out. So that's going to be the Eminent Energy all done. Now can we go ahead and max out this, the Eminence damage? Probably actually. We do have 6k coins left and we barely use 1k to get 50 levels. I guess that means that when it comes to maxing out these progressions, we should barely struggle at all. I don't think we're going to be able to get level 100 on the last two, but we should be really close if we fall short. Let's see. So this is going to be the final progression over here, the lucky one. And actually, wait, this is even cheaper. Okay, then yeah, we definitely are going to be getting the max level. Let's go. What about the Shadow Garden over here? Yes, I've saved up 32,000 tokens, meaning that we could get the Supreme really quickly. Awesome, from 32k tokens, we got absolutely nothing. Wow. Not gonna lie, I was not expecting to get, you know, zero stuff, but I guess it's fine because whilst I was rolling, I did actually manage to get another Supreme accessory, which is going to be found over here, the Crested Wing Bands, and they're going to be giving us, you know, OP damage, OP coins, OP EXP, you know, kind of all the usual stuff that is going to help us out. Now, should I bother trying to work on energy? I mean, I did hatch overnight, you know, just like I promised you guys, but unfortunately, I wasn't really able to get anything good. Okay, since we're running out of time, right, let me just go ahead and let me grind a lot, right? I only have like a few hours before the update releases. I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to like prepare what I'm going to say and how to commentate and stuff. So from this point onwards, for the next like 4 or 5 hours, right, until the update releases, it's going to be a complete speed run, right? I'm not going to commentate anything. I'm going to do everything off camera. And I guess you guys are going to see how strong or how far we managed to get once I guess, yeah, we get to the update time. Hopefully, we do not fail and we are able to get to the final world so then we can say that we are pro. Well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, I have some really good news and really bad news. The really good news is that in the 4 or 5 hours, we did some insane progression. Like, I unlocked the Z City, I started working on everything, and I even started leveling up a bunch of stuff too. For example, Mythical Planet Breaker, you know, level 28, 7.68x energy. We also got the Supreme I Am Atomic. We got the Phantom First Shadow, but I believe I already had that. But yeah, I did level it up just like before. And we also managed to get the legendary Celestial Impact, giving us 3 times damage. Now, with all of those stuff equipped, I have noticed that if I had, let's say, 1 more day, I could have definitely completed this world. Especially since right now, the only thing that is holding me back is time needed in order to grind the tokens. But yeah, unfortunately, time is up. The update is going to be releasing in a few minutes. So yeah, we kind of failed. But if you think about it, we also kind of succeeded as well. Like, look at it this way, right? In this singular video, and like within maybe the past week or so, we have managed to go through basically 5 whole worlds, and that is insane. Plus as well, we also managed to max out, if I'm not mistaken, the majority, like 99.9999% of everything behind me. Like, if we head on over to the teleporter, right? All of the progressions from worlds 1 to 19 are done. Even the energy obelisks with their new max levels, that is also done. Titans, stands, energy progressions, all of these are all completed and maxed out. In fact, the only thing that I believe that we are still missing is going to be the dungeon lobby running track progression. Like, this is the only thing that I can possibly think of that I have left, and as well the dungeon upgrades. But then again, if you think about it, I can't exactly max it out right now, because I need to defeat enemies from the last world that will then give me, like, you know, enough coins in order to go ahead and, you know, spam this button like this. Then, you know, we can max it out. But anyways, just like I said though, we have done everything that we could have done. Again, if maybe I was 1 day faster, we could have unlocked the final world. But honestly, I am satisfied. If needs be, let me know down in the comments what I could have done better to give myself that extra day time. But apart from that though, let's go ahead and I guess let's jump into this update, which should be releasing, I guess, any second now. And this is going to be the long-awaited Halloween update. Here we go. Here is the update log for the special Halloween event. So let's run through this. So we have a Halloween raid, achievements for the Halloween raid, a Halloween power bag. Okay, so the candy bag is going to be giving us power. That sounds pretty cool. Halloween crafting for spooky potions. Also in World 1, we have the bag evolve, bag leveling 1, 2, 3, and Okay, we have some stuff in World 24 as well. Yeah, there's 2 whole new gadgets that we can go ahead and roll. And then to end of the update log, we have some extra levels and as well a Halloween potion bundle in the shop. Okay, let's start off by having a look at this potion bundle, right? So here it is, the spooky coins potion, spooky damage potion. Okay, it's just a spooky version of every single kind of potion. And it seems like these potions give you 2.5x of a boost rather than the normal 2x. So you're going to be getting like a 25% increase. I think that's the maths. Let's see if we can go ahead and, you know, get some of these potions for ourselves. So where on earth is the Halloween, I guess, shop going to be? Or should I say the TP? Is it going to be this? I think so. Alright, so here's the Halloween crafting. In exchange for bones and empty flasks, we can get the potions that we literally just saw before. Then from there, we have the Halloween leveling, where we can go ahead and, I guess, upgrade our bag. Now, the big question is, how on earth do we get said bag? So this is how you craft for them. You know, it will start from a normal 1.5x energy boost and go all the way up to a base minimum of 2.5x damage, energy, and coins. Then over here, right next to the Halloween bag evolve, we have the Halloween raid, which is going to be giving us all of the items that we are going to be needing, including a box of bones, the empty flask, and as well the Halloween candy, which is used to level up the bags. Now, all of this seems relatively simple to answer. I'm just still confused how on earth we get the bag. Like, is it maybe from the achievements? Yes, it's going to be. We need to get to wave 1000, which actually might not be that difficult. Let's see. So if I jump on into this, right, are we going to be struggling at all? Let me just actually quickly pop on all of my drop stuff, so then that way we are getting a bit extra of all of these different types of like items. So drop macaroon, drop potion, my drop auras are on, and yeah, have a look at all of that. We're getting a bunch of candy, a bunch of the different bones. And yeah, we seem to be blitzing through all of these enemies because they literally only have like thousands of HP. Yeah, the final few waves, at wave 999 in this case, they only have QDD HP, which is quite literally nothing. Like, I'm pretty sure you get that amount at maybe like a world... Honestly, I'm not gonna really guess that much. Maybe like world 8 or world 12, like somewhere in that range. Still though, for the average player, you guys shouldn't struggle that much in completing that. In fact, we managed to get, you know, all of these quests, so let's just go ahead and claim all of those bad boys. And now, I guess, let's see if we can go ahead and do some crafting. So if we just go ahead and select this and start leveling it up, are we going to be able to instantly max it out? Honestly, probably not. Like, we have to get it to like level 100 3 separate times, which is, you know, a bit crazy to say. Plus as well, probably the prices are going to be increasing as well on, you know, how much it is to level them up. So yeah, I don't exactly have that much hope. Oh nice, we actually managed to go ahead and get ourselves a level 100 rare Halloween bag. Now, I know a lot of you guys might not like this, but I think I'm gonna leave the video here. Like, originally, I know I said that this was a finale, right? Like, it is the finale. I am officially, I would say at this point, a pro in this game. But something that I didn't tell you guys is that it's not the end of like my grinding and whatever. Like, apart from obviously the update showcases, there's still one more idea, or should I say 2 more ideas I want to do on this account. Number 1, that is going to be getting maxed out, and quite literally that is going to be me unlocking the final world, and as well maybe getting like the supremes and phantoms on everything, you know, kind of getting strong enough to get all the achievements, all of the upgrades, all that kind of stuff. And then the second idea is going to be getting hypermaxed, which in other words means I am going to 100% complete the game. Yes, that's right, I am going to get to eventually the point where there will be absolutely nothing else I can grind, you know, max rank up, all the gachas in the game completely maxed out. Quite literally, hypermaxed means hypermax. It means that you can't physically do anything else to improve. And maybe as well along the way, we will get on the leaderboards. But yeah, apart from that though, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did end up enjoying this movie, then make sure to stick around, because probably I'm gonna get started working on the next video, probably tomorrow. And that, of course, is going to be including me maxing out the Halloween event and, of course, unlocking the final world, you know, getting all of that sorted. You kind of get the idea. So yeah, feel free to like and subscribe if you don't want to see more. And apart from that though, I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.